Hi guys, and welcome back to my podcast corner. And today we're just going to be leading up to Chesterfield because I'm going to be doing a travel video where I ride on the Pronto bus for the first time, and I make my way from Chesterfield to Nottingham, and it is that then inspired me to come up with the travel leading up to it, and then I can, in that retrospect, talk about what's going on. But it'll be the first time I've been on the Pronto. I've seen it in Mansfield, and I just thought it's definitely something I'd want to try out. So I'm waiting for the 216, which is one due in 10 minutes. So I shouldn't have that long to wait, and then I'll just travel up to Chesterfield just as a setup for my travel video. Join me back in a bit, and I'll be at the back of the 216 and I'll explain as to what's going on next. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys. I'm just joining at the back of the 216 and I'm making my way to the interchange. Just to have pictures of what the buses are doing, because I need to go to Sheffield after this and then get the X17, hopefully be able to get the X17 to then go to Chesterfield. Speaking of which, I do actually have a battle of the buses planned where I go between Sheffield and Chesterfield, and that'll be a battle of 4 buses, even though the 50 and 58 look like they want to do the same thing. But I'll do a bit of research into that. But then you've also got the X17 and the 43 as well. But that'll be in another video. But I'm just very excited because this will be the first time I've done a Pronto bus. Get to see what that does, and I do also plan to cover as much of the journey as I can, as it were. So I'll be back in a bit, coming up to the pub day, and I will see you at Rotherham interchange as I do connect to my next bus that goes to Sheffield. See you in a bit, guys. And welcome back, guys. You just joined me back in Rotherham interchange, and we're just waiting for the next bus to Sheffield, and this is the best one, the X1, and it's due in 12 minutes, so 20 past 10 theoretically because it might be late, and at this point it's 10:08. And I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. And here we are. So I'm just going to keep an eye out on the buses. But the X1 would have come from Maltby. And what I might do is see what the X17 does, because I'm pretty sure the X17 goes to Meadowhall. But only time will tell. It looks like, from where I can see it, these automatic doors are broken because they're not opening, unless of course you have to wait for the bus to arrive, and again only time will tell. But join me back in a bit as I take up the back of the X1, which then takes you into Sheffield, and we're going to be looking at about 40 minutes while we're there. See you in a bit, guys. And welcome back, guys. You've just joined me on the middle of the X3, making our way into Sheffield, and well, what would you know? I'm actually sat at a table. Got lots of table seats on this bus, which is a rarity for this particular bus. And it just comes to show that if I bought my tripod, I can't because I've left it at home, and by which I mean my home and not my mum's, I'm unable to, but this will work just fine. So we're just coming out of Rotherham. We're going to make our way into Sheffield bus station because I think that's what I would prefer, and then I can just make my way over and then pick up X17 as we make our way into Chesterfield. And then Chesterfield, on my way up to Chesterfield, will be where I wrap this podcast, and then some. I'm just wondering, actually, I've got some ideas forming in the back of my mind as to what I would do with the podcast corner, but for now I just need to make sure that they develop further before I make any rash plans. I see the football stadium for Rotherham United. I also spot Rotherham Central Station from over there. Looks like 2 super long platforms, but it's split into 4. But join me back in a bit and I will see you in Sheffield, and we'll just keep you updated as to what's going on. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys. You've just joined me now in Sheffield, and I'm just going to have a look at what the buses are doing and see which one will get me to Chesterfield. Now, a 53 comes here, but the slight problem with that 53 is that they're every 2 hours, and we have 65 goes to Meadowhall, 10:55. If we get the X17, oh, that's going to Barnsley. That's not what I'm after. We want one that goes to Chesterfield. Yeah, that one goes to Barnsley. So we'll just cross over. I see a 257, which is an Andrews bus. That goes to Bakewell. Be a good idea if you want to get Bakewell tart. But let me just go over to platforms A and B, just so I look at what they're doing. That's a 32 there. We used to have a Route 32 in the Havant area because it used to go to Hayling Ferry. That was scrapped many years ago. But we've got a 10 that's going to Manor Top. No, that's not what I'm after. 788A, no. 7 goes to Crystal Peak. That's interesting. What about A5 and B5? We have 120, halfway norward to 120k. 10A, no. B6. This would be interesting. 9A goes to Manor Top. 31, 32 to Meadowhall. Let's go down to D, because if I remember rightly, trying to rhyme with D. If I remember rightly, that's most likely where I'm going to pick up a bus that goes to Chesterfield. CNX 11, that will be covered in my extended battle of the X buses. But right now, I am mainly interested in going to Chesterfield, because that'll be where I wrap things up. D6 is not in use at the moment. Okay, D5. I see an X17 going to Matlock. Join me back in a bit and I'll take you on that very bus and we'll make our way to Chesterfield. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys. You've just joined me now at the front of the X17 as I make my way into Chesterfield. And I'll tell you what, I'm very excited because this is going to be one of the buses that I cover in my extended battle of the X buses, as we then covered my original battle of the X buses. So my original battle of the X buses covered 4 of them between here and Rotherham, whereas my extended battle of the X buses then covers all of them, and there's 12 of them, and that then extends out to Barnsley and Doncaster, and we also look at going to Maltby at the same time. But more details will follow as and when that video comes about. But for now, we're just making our way out of Sheffield, and we make our way towards Chesterfield. And I see a 5 going to Grimethorpe, and I see 32 that I saw just earlier at the interchange. I see a 51 that's going to Lodgemore. We're sat behind a 2, and Nat sat behind a 20. And as you just heard earlier, as you heard just a moment ago, this bus is going to Matlock, but all the X17 buses called Chesterfield. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.